We were living off of beans and rice and beans. We sold things, we did everything we possibly could to get out of debt. So take it through that. Welcome to the Avenu Workout Podcast, where we're combining my two favorite things, working out and podcasting. Actually, technically three things here. My wife is with me right now, Cassie, and then also working out and podcasting together. Well, we're putting these things together. This is a follow-along workout because we know some of you like to work out while you're listening to podcast stuff. We figured why not follow along with us, listen to the conversation with it. We'll keep you entertained as we go through it all. So all you need are 2 dumbbells. And just like last time around, we're working for 45 seconds and we're gonna rest for 15. So we're gonna get straight after it. I'll do all the introduction stuff there and everything as we get into it. But the way Cass is gonna start off, the way that you're gonna get started off here too as well, with a simple warm-up of what we call our sit stand. Whereas basically all she's gonna do here is just gonna sit down onto the ground and she's gonna stand right on back up and down here for you on this one. So if you cannot drop all the way down like this, you can use your hands to get down there, but the goal is just to simply just get down and get right back up again here. And so today, if you were with us last time around on the first one, we talked a lot about Cass's pre-Avenu, pre-Brent days here in this one, where she was into figure competition and she kind of just explained her journey through it all. And the thing about we want to get in today is, which is funny, I've already introduced her as my wife here on this one, but a lot of people, though we've been doing Avenu, working together, Avenu side by side, literally for 14 years, a lot of people come into Avenu and they do not know that we are married. We did these team introductions here, these videos that we're sending out to new people when they join the team here. Last one. Boom, you gotta grab the dumbbells. Okay. We're gonna start off first with the squat. So the first move we're doing is just simple squat here for you. So again, you can grab the dumbbells. Hands at the shoulders if you want to here on this one. Remember, again, we're working for 45 seconds, resting for 15. So again, in the beginning here, hang on 1 second there. 3, 2, 1. Now you can start into it there on this one. So in the beginning, we start off with these little team introductions. And the funny thing is though, is she pulled me into her introduction and just to let people know that she and I are married. So the funny thing is though, is that we have roles, just like you have roles. If you're married at home, your husband and you, or you and your wife each have roles that you've kind of assumed, probably, just unannounced, like maybe, she does the cooking, I do the dishes type of stuff. We never really made an official plan for it all there. But when it comes to work, we have to be a little bit more intentional. And I think with us, in the beginning, I used to do the accounting, which for being dyslexic, if I was at least in the general ballpark, I was like, good, this is awesome. But there was no way to grow a business. So Cass quickly took over the accounting department for it all. You got one more? Boom, right there. Good. Just gonna rest. Next, we're just gonna move into some alternating shoulder presses there for it. And so now, as we get into this here, and you start with the presses here, you got about 5 seconds left here on this one. Help them understand your roles, what you do outside of training. A lot of clients, massive load of clients. What is your day-to-day role here on this?
Day-to-day role is kind of managing and watching the details. Love details, thrive in going over details and knowing the details. So Brent, when we first started all of this together, introduced me to Dave Ramsey. And how cool would that be if we could set ourselves up for success like that? So once he turned me on to him and I listened to a few of his radio broadcasting, because I'm not quite sure he had podcasts back then.
We're finally starting to date ourselves, right?
Yeah.
It was like, God, we're old, pre-Facebook and pre-social media
Absolutely.
days.
So we jumped on the bandwagon of we're paying off our debt. We wanted to do it in a goal of 2 years.
Down there, so go forward lunges next year. No, you're good.
And so we did that. So that's kind of where my role started with the accounting or finance part of Avenu. Now we have Derek on our team, which is a huge help. He does a lot of the detailed work and I will oversee it. We'll come up with a plan together. This is what we want to save per year. This is what we want to allocate and budget. And it's been really helpful to have him on the team to take over those details as client load changes or grows, and especially in this season, it does take a little bit more work to do the virtual and in person, and hopping back and forth between the two.
So just to hit the pause button, because she skimmed over this pretty lightly right there. She just, oh yeah, we got ourselves out of debt, and then we moved on and kind of da-da-da. It wasn't that easy, all right? You got 2 more steps here for you on this one. There was a significant period of time where we literally kind of, good, watch there. Next we're gonna go into the roads there for you all today. Where we were living off of beans and rice and beans. We sold things, we did everything we possibly could to get out of debt. So take them through that like a little So we had business debt and we had personal debt here for us.
We had business debt and we had personal debt. And so our goal, as I mentioned, was to pay it off in 2 years.
Tell how much it was?
We did that. I think it was 200 and something thousand. So a lot. And so glad that we went through those hard times of living on rice and beans and rice, and Brent riding a bike. We sold a car so he would ride 6 miles to work every day. We didn't have a washer and dryer at what was then Westview Fitness. So we didn't have a washer and dryer. So every night he would take a big load of towels home for the night on his back, riding home to where we lived, which was off of I-10 and
610.
610.
Got one more. Good. All right, we're just going to repeat back through it all over again there. So mind you, here I am driving through, riding my bike through the Galleria area, through Uptown Park area with a big Santa Claus yellow sack over my shoulder with a lot of towels in it, getting honked at, laughed at, people making fun of me along the way, and I'm just my head down here on this one, which is funny because now when we tell that story, back into the squats again, we're just dropping it down, up and down. When we tell our girls that story, I said, man, if it was freezing cold and raining, whatever the situation was, as I was leaving the house every morning at 4:15, she would kiss me on the cheek and say, thank you so much for making the sacrifice for us, I tell our girls that story now. We have 2 young daughters here, an 11 and an 8-year-old. They simply looked at me and said, why didn't you take an Uber? To which I had no response back to say, well, Uber wasn't invented then at the time. So I kind of felt like my parents for the first time ever when I made that response back to them. So we pay off all of our debt. You know, we're living in the 1-bedroom condo here forever.
Yeah.
We live in it, we cram into it there. We pay off all the debt, and then we start to move forward again. Got the last one here for you. Good, relax with it.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna go back into the overhead press and go back and forth.
It's hard talking and working out at the same time. Am I going yet or holding?
Not yet, no, just hang on. You got 5 seconds left here for us.
So over the years, we just continued to learn each other's strengths better and trusting each other in those strengths. So that was really helpful. We got some coaching from this gentleman who does a great job of helping you narrow that down for yourself. And then figuring out, okay, how do we work well in this together in the day-to-day? So that was really helpful to know that Brent can trust me with the details and I can trust him with the bigger picture.
Key being trust.
Yeah.
Key being trust, because again, you always have those conflicts in marriages, and it feels like when she steps onto my territory or when I step onto her territory, we feel each other as attacking the other one because they're like, no, this is my strength, this is where I lead, this is where I'm best at here on this one. About 5 seconds left. And what it was is that she needed to see things in this linear progression. She needed to see step 1, 2, 3. All right, relax right there. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I just needed to know that I needed to get from 1 to 10, and I can get there however I want to. When I came to her to tell her and said, hey, I'm going to do all this stuff, and she says, well, you're not doing this, this, and this, and this. And I said, well, that's because I did number 8, and then I'm going to come back to number 2, and then I'm going to go to number 7, then I'm going to number 3, and I'm going to go back and forth, where that would frustrate her in the beginning. And then when she had to be so by the book about we need to go 1, 2, 3, 4, it would get me frustrated back at her. So again, we began to understand that about each other, and we just actually started to respect it, because there was no right or wrong way. It was just the way that she was wired for it. It was the way that I was wired for it.
And I think when you can blend those two things together, people's strengths, you're going to come out with the best possible solution. Think about like someone who's willing to take big risks and someone who doesn't really want to take a lot of risks. You eventually meet in the middle and end up in a beautiful place.
I like that. Right, this is a perfect little, like, put a bow tie on it, everything there. You got 2 more steps. Good. Last one here for you, then we're going to go back into the rows that you bend over there on this one. You got it. So it hasn't come, so that was way back in 2008. We did all this stuff, right? So we got ourselves out of debt in 2008. As we proceeded through the years, we were able to actually do some fun things with the team and stuff and everything because of that. Right, back into the road.
Team on a bunch of cool trips. So we had what was called the Pursuit 100, where we wanted to get 100 new clients within a year.
No, we just
months.
said, like, this was my joke. I basically said, let's do a competition to see, how fast we can get to 100 new clients. I thought it would never happen, to be honest with you here. And the team knows this too as well, so I'm not saying anything that they don't know. But I said, let's get 100 new clients. When we do, we'll take a trip somewhere where we have to cross an ocean together as a team. Again, I never thought it would happen, so I threw as big a thing out there as I possibly could. Little did I know, 6 months later, it happened.
Yeah.
I still remember the phone call from Angie, and she called me and she says, hey, where are we going? I said, what do you mean? She said, we just crossed the line. We just got 100 new clients. You got the last one right there. Good. Relax right there. Perfect. We'll go through it one more time. We'll just repeat back all the way through it all over again there. So we packed up the team and
we headed to the Caymans. So that was really fun to just shut down shop and go away for, was it 3 full days? I think we might have left on a Thursday night, came back on a Sunday.
Squats.
So at that time we had some younger people on the team. We were all younger back then, but we had some younger people on the
Life
team.
was great.
And so that was fun to be able to celebrate like a trip with them that they might not have taken otherwise on their own. We even stayed at the Ritz-Carlton because we wanted to learn from their example of service. We always pride ourselves on the service that we provide here at Avenu. We're not perfect, but we try to be excellent in it. And so that was fun and cool to just be able to experience what it's like to be at another place and watch their service.
Yeah, it is really cool. You got one more here for this. And it's really cool, again, from a mom and pop type of standpoint, is that we've been able to, just because of some choices that we made a long time ago, just like what we talk about with you all the time, is like making these small little sacrifices in the moment for the long-term stuff of it is what we try to talk about from a health and fitness perspective all the time here on this one.
Yeah.
Going into the shoulder presses next year on this one. Is that sometimes you just have to delay things just a little bit. A little patience pays off in the long run. So we've been able to take the team to the Caymans, and then we ended up taking everybody
for our 10-year
anniversary.
We surprised everyone. We didn't tell them where we were going, and we headed to Vegas.
Which was awesome because we said you're allowed one bag. You had to bring, X type, one type of clothes.
Spirit, mind you.
We did go cheap on it all, but we didn't tell them until we got to the airport. We had cars here, vans ready, take us all to the airport. We get to the airport, we give everybody an envelope, or we gave everybody their tickets inside of an envelope, and then when they all opened it up there about 4:30 in the morning, there at the airport, they all found out we're going to Vegas for just a whirlwind kind of weekend trip filled with lots of hanging out, having fun. Good, relax right there. We'll go into the forward lunges when we get done. But the funny thing about that trip is we went to, mind you, we left here Houston at 4:30 in the morning, which means it was 2:30 Vegas time in the morning. We had scheduled that night to go to one of the Cirque du Soleil kind of shows that wasn't kicking off till 9:30 at night. So mind you, we had been up already at 4:30 our time, 2:30 their time. And then when we get there, their time, we're going to a show at 9:30 at night. When we get there, our team of 12 of us, 13 of us at the time, every single person was asleep at the top. It was the most expensive nap I've ever had to pay for. But a few people kind of enjoyed it. A few people did do, kind of wake up every once in a while when the loud explosions and stuff would go off. So, but so we've been able to do some fun stuff through the years, just because of, again, some stuff that we made some decisions on way back in 2006. Right there, you got about 5 more seconds here for you on this. Which then leads us into a very interesting thing. This will be kind of fun. So there's always adversity. You don't think that this was all just kind of peaches here for us. So this will be the one last one of the rose. We did go through a very fun period of time. Hang on a second. We were audited, not once, not twice, but 3 times. The first time was for a year. The second time was for 3 years. And then the third time was kind of a short one. We had learned our stuff by then. But with the second one, it wasn't all bad. We ended up actually
Getting a refund
out of all of it.
The one that took 3 years.
But we got a crash course in it all too as well. We did get this lesson of what is it like to say, hey, everything is going great, and then all of a sudden things come crashing down. Corona hits. You're stuck at home forever with the kids. There's no more kind of going to the grocery store on your own. Your workouts are disrupted. You got kids at home, family at home. Everybody's spending more time together. Everybody's getting on each other's nerves. That was kind of like our 3-year period, right? I mean, it was a very interesting time for all of us, but especially for you and Derek as you're trying to learn and walk your way through all this, right?
Yes. Don't have an accounting degree.
Last one right there. Good.
All right, by the end of all that.
We're going to finish it off with just 2 minutes here on this one. Just 2 little minutes here is what we're going to finish off with. So it's a fun little thing. She's going to go through some speed curls. I'm not going to make her do it right now on this one, but she's going to sit there and it's going to go just up and down for 45 seconds there. We're going to go just as quick as we possibly can. Here we go. You got it. So to round this plane on out there, we're talking about, hey, as we're getting in here, obviously we've made some financial decisions that ended up helping us out in the long run here. We've been able to reap the benefits of it all. It leads us into the Corona season, and March 18th we shut down. Because of the decisions that we made way back in 2006 to 2008 to get ourselves out of debt. We are able to
keep everybody on our team in this season. Shift everybody to a guaranteed pay, because normally in our industry it's based upon the amount of people that you see. So that was really cool to be able to do, to keep everyone, not have to let anyone go, provide them a salary for them and their families to take care of them in this time. And we're still going strong at it, working hard every day to continue to make that happen.
So other things too as well, which she's kind of leaving out here on this one, is that we were able to give away all of our clients. For those of you who did come, give away all of our clients. Give away all of our equipment. Yes, we gave it away, everybody. You know, they said don't come back here at all. All right, go back into the kickbacks here. So last little bit there when we're all finished. But moved into this season where we lent out all of our equipment once we got shut down back on March 18th. And then come time for us to get back together again on June 1st, we thought, well, what a way to just say thank you to so many clients who came and supported us by taking our equipment, one, but then continuing to train with us and continue to invite their friends to jump in with us all, is we were able to bless them and say, hey, keep all the equipment that you took from us. Don't worry about bringing it back. We located some other dumbbells. We were fortunate enough again to be in a position that we could be able to buy all new equipment to not only say thank you to the people there that stayed with us at home, you got about 5 more seconds here left in this one, but also to say, hey, you know what, we have a fresh start here at Avenu when we finish things out. So if we could wrap all this stuff up, you're good right there. You can just drop them down onto the ground. You're all done. You're all done with the workout portion of it all here on this one. But if we could wrap it all up, so if you could tie getting out of debt back into maybe somebody looking at it from a health and fitness standpoint, and we got the chaos of what's going on right now. I got family at home. We got all these excuses. We got everything that we could possibly just say, you know what, it's not worth it. It's not worth it starting right now in this season. What would you say to encourage them from the steps that we've learned here in this one through the years about saving, about patiently waiting, sitting back, putting a plan together, following maybe a step-by-step kind of guide for them?
I think it goes back to the good things in life are often not easy to do. And so because we did all those little hard things, we've been able to do some really cool things. Same thing with your health, same thing with your life and your family and your kids. Is like going back to the other podcast that we did, is just not giving up, taking those daily steps every single day, and you will see the fruit of your labor come and the blessings and the good things to happen. So thank you to all you clients who have supported us so much and have reached out. I remember right when all this was happening and we were deciding to stop doing in person and switch to virtual, the amount of people in our community that called and said, hey, I want to prepay, or I can't come in right now, but keep charging me, was incredible. Incredible.
So when we were so truly thankful, we're blessed to be here. It's because, again, a lot of you coming in, supporting us, inviting your friends, telling everybody about it, subscribing to things like this, taking this podcast, passing it on to somebody else, like getting other people involved with this little simple method that we start off again way back 14 years ago. Just say, hey, just keep it simple. And during the good times, it's easy to do. But now during this Corona season, when things are tough and things are challenging, keeping it simple is still the thing to do. So again, what we've been trying to preach since day one is all about sustainability, and it's the same thing that we're going to continue to preach on as we move forward. So if you will, just continue to take this, pass it on, share, spread the message, and then we're going to keep coming back to you. And eventually, Cass will be coaching me through it all.
Yeah.
See you next time.
Bye.